Welcome back, everyone, and we are here with our favorite Spaniard in the entire world, Aranea. How are you doing today, Aranea? You've already laughed at my sunburn, so let's get that out of the way first.
What sunburn?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for that.
I don't see anything.
So we've seen 2 games today already. You guys obviously coming up a little bit later on. What's your opinion so far?
Well, I mean, I didn't expect Fnatic to lose that hard. I mean, they really got a stomp. In early game, like, they lane swap, and I thought the lane swap was good, but their picks wasn't that good, I think. Like, they picked really early Kassadin, and they picked Sivir, and AD carry is not really common, in European scene at least. So I was quite surprised about the picks. I didn't expect Fnatic to win against CG, but they get really stomped in that game. So I don't know.
How about Shocker coming in there, of course, the new player into the lineup for Evil Geniuses. You're a jungler yourself, of course, and a very good one at that. How do you feel about his jungling?
Well, I think he's a really aggressive jungle. I mean, I played against him in solo queue, and he's like, some games he's like carry early game, so hard, but some other games he just like got a stomp because he's really, really aggressive. Like a really aggressive jungle. It's something I didn't really expect to work well with EG, because EG is like completely the opposite. We know EG for the passive game, like let's just wait till 1 hour, and then Frog and maybe with an Anivia can carry. Mm-hmm. It was till now always like this, but now that they changed, they're actually changing the playstyle as well, and I think it's working pretty fine for them.
Do you think EG is going to keep going up?
I hope so.
All right.
So let's move on to your game later on. Obviously, you'll be playing last of all against NIP. And I remember your comments from Moscow where you said, you know, on the main stage, that Gambit didn't win that game. It was the crowd that won it for them. Is that going to be the same here today?
I hope so. I mean, well, I'm quite pressured because right now Oslo lost the first match. The second match was lost for Speke. The third match, even though no one knows he's Spanish, there is a Spanish guy called Mithi from Lemon Dogs, the support. So I hope Lemon Dogs wins, so I'm not that pressured. But if they lose, I will be like the 4th Spanish guy gonna play, and I hope I can win for this crowd, because it's actually really, really nice, the crowd.
What do you think to the crowd here? I mean, obviously we're in Tenerife, we're not in mainland Spain here, we're a little bit further
almost
away.
Africa.
Almost Africa, yeah, we're of course off the coast of Africa. Did you expect such a big turnout here?
I didn't expect that. I really expect like a small crowd, like not many people, even like not many chairs to sit, but this is huge. This is really huge. I mean, I will invite everyone from Spain to come here next year, because this is amazing event. I'm really enjoying this event, not only from the event, also like what is outside, what is Tenerife. It's a really beautiful island. And for the moment, it's really like, I'm really proud of this Spanish event.
How have you been received here? I mean, we know all the popular players, they get fans coming up to them asking for autographs, asking for pictures. How's it been being in a Spanish crowd for you?
Actually, I'm quite happy with this event. I mean, probably if I came here 2 months ago, I would probably be even hated. So I wasn't really loved by it, not only Spanish community, also like European community. They didn't really like me from my past, like my last days on SK. But it's quite interesting, because right now, after all what happened on the LCS, there are many people coming to me saying, hey, the Spanish Insect, hey, Insect, hey, you're amazing in jungle. So it's like, for me, I'm really happy with that. And I'm actually quite proud that I'm walking around with people like Froggen, and they're asking pictures to me, not to Froggen. I'm like, hey, you're Froggen, but they're asking me pictures. It's funny.
So we've actually been asking you guys at home all day to talk to us through Twitter. So it's about time we actually went through that. Of course, we asked you which team do you think will have the biggest turnaround this weekend, and all the guys get their tweets read out right now. Guys and girls, obviously, maybe, are going to be winning a Logitech G510S gaming keyboard, and you will be contacted via Twitter about that one. So let's have a look at our first Twitter answer of the day then here, waiting anxiously for this one. Here we go then. So, Nikos Tell. Sorry guys, I'm always bad at this. I think EG might have a turnaround due to the changes that occurred in the team roster and the coming of N-Rated as an analyst. Obviously, we've just seen Shaka and EG win there against Fnatic. Let's talk then about N-Rated and, you know, the role that he could play for this EG side.
Yeah, so Alvar, I know you come in actually for your team as a heavy analyst, right? You dictate a lot of what you guys do in picks and bans. You have a lot of say in there. How important is that?
It's really important. I don't know if in the past in EG was someone doing that, but I think they missed someone doing that. I mean, I remember they were always like not doing smart bans, not doing really smart picks even. So it was like kind of random what they were picking and banning. And right now it seems, well, I cannot say that it's only one game, you know, but
sure.
Still they're playing better, at least like the bans and picks are better. It's also, I think also it was a Fnatic not playing really smart that game. They tried something with like Sivir and trying to pick really fast Kassadin. We also know that Froggen played Kassadin, so he probably it was going to deny the Kassadin of Froggen at the same time. But I don't know, I think it was a good move from EG getting an analyst and well, the swap from jungle, I'm not really a fan of it, but well, let's see.
All right, so there you go. Good, congratulations again on your free keyword, man. But there we go. So let's get the next one up on screen for you guys and see what else you guys have had to say. And it's Xpens. I got the easy
You get
one.
the easy one.
Easy.
Fast.
I believe SK will get a lot better this weekend since they have a home crowd advantage like Gambit Gaming at LCS Moscow. Well, they...
It's only one guy from Spain.
yeah.
Well, maybe they consider Nif Spanish. I don't think so.
It's fair. And of course, they didn't have a very good start to it either, unfortunately.
No.
0-1 of the week so far. How do you see SK progressing through the week?
I don't know. I mean, the game, I think the plan of SK was really good. I'm not really a fan of Queen as AD carry. As only AD carry, I prefer Queen as top lane or mid lane, and another AD carry at bottom. But they played that, and they were doing really good in the streams and so on. But the problem was, I think in bottom, they focus on bottom in some ganks. And if you don't pressure Saru on mid lane, and he can free teleport bottom, you're screwed. I mean, it's gonna be dangerous for you. And that's exactly what Mim was doing. I mean, I remember exactly the first Blood, they got Nami.
Yep.
And Nami could flash away to try to dodge everything, but she didn't. She was like, okay, Saru's coming. I will try to force them to stay here as much as I can. So she bubbled them, she ultimate them, and then she flashed away. And she's still alive. And that was the first Blood. That was really, really good play by Mim, and I don't know. I think is the key of Mim, and SK didn't know how to counter that.
So let's have a look at the next one then here. Obviously we have 5. Null Merida. Yeah, see, I got an easy one this time. I think that NIP, who are highly motivated and are doing very well. NIP has much potential and is really showing it lately.
What was the Twitter question?
Which team you think is going to have the biggest turnaround here in Tenerife?
Aren't they already like going up, Nip?
Well, that's the thing. It depends on what you call a turnaround, because a team that were doing well before, I guess if they do a turnaround, it'll mean they're not doing so well anymore.
I think Nip has really high potential. I will consider them one of the top 3 European teams right now. I think they're really good.
Is Alternate in the top 3?
I don't know.
Right now.
I don't know. I mean, I will say with Creton, no doubt. We are probably top 3, like no doubt. Because for me, Creton is like the best AD carry in Europe. White Knight is adapting really well. He's playing much better every day. You realize like when you're playing with him, he's every day becoming better and better. But still, it's a huge step till become like Creton level. But he's trying his best. So I think in some weeks he will become much better for us.
I love how we managed to turn that Twitter question from NIP to Alternate in one swift swipe.
It was you.
It was my fault. It was my fault. So let's move on to the next one then and see what we got coming up here. So, Flamerin. I'm pretty sure Fnatic will be able to leave this weekend with a 3-0. Pushu and Yellowstar are playing better every match, and funnily enough, they actually brought a different combo out this game, one that we've not seen from them before.
I think Pushu said on a previous interview, like some days ago, that his favorite combo to stomp in solo queue was Sivir Taric. He said it's a solo queue duo, but it's the strongest combo to carry solo queue.
Yeah, you destroy people at like level 1, level 2 in lane. You do so much damage with that combo. And now, with Nami, if you can land a bubble, I guess you get that as well. But, I mean, I guess they picked it for a composition, right? To kind of go all in, ride the wave, like rush forward to the Sivir ultimate. They just kind of got behind it, felt.
I mean, I have to say 2 things about the Sivir pick. The first of all, when you're talking about the composition, in the past, when we were playing Sivir, like really long time ago, I'm talking about season 1, it was running with a double AD combo. because Sivir ultimate works with that double 80, or even like a hyper bruiser like Irelia, for example, or Rengar, something like that has a lot of attack speed and move speed that benefits from the Sivir ultimate. But in that case, they pick Sen and Kassadin.
Yeah.
That didn't really work with Sivir. And the second thing I wanna talk about is the item choice of Hushu. He went for Blade of the Runkin when his Q scaled for full 80. So I was really expecting to see Bloodthirster instead of Blade of the Runkin. That was quite interesting for me. I don't know, like, he maybe tested enough, like he's better 80 than me, obviously, and probably work out for him, but I still think that Bloodthirster or even Infinity Edge is better than Blade of the Runkin.
Well, and of course, it didn't quite work out for them, so maybe you're right, and we might see some different adaptations as the season goes on, if we see Sivir some more. But we do have one final question to bring out for you guys, because we want to get all 5 winners out there, and that's Tom Nguyen Pham. Got that one out there. Gambit Gaming will have the 2-0 week. Having lost to NIP last week, they want to bounce back and retake the throne at first.
It will be 3-0, right?
Yeah.
Not 2-0.
Yeah.
We have 3 matches.
Yeah.
We have 3 matches.
Well, maybe they're
Will
going
they
to like
retake
the
first?
2 first matches is 2-0 and then lost the last one or something.
Or lose the first one and, you know, go on to win
like
the
that.
next 2. But what do you think to Gambit right now?
For me, is the team is my hardest team. Because in terms of jungler, for me, Diamond Prox was always the best, at least in Europe. And he will be always the best against me. I don't know, like, I think he's the only one that playing me so hard. Every game we play against them.
Well, before we move on, we have another chance for you to win. 2 times in one day, it's all great. This time, though, it's actually a contest that rewards you for sharing disturbing pictures of yourself. You'll be good at this.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at that.
Guys, so tweet us a picture of you doing your best impression of Dr. Mundo. If you're one of the 5 we like best, you're going to get 1,000 RP, the Mr. Mundoverse skin, and the Madman of Zon himself, if he's not already part of your champion pool.
But please be careful, guys, with those gigantic meat cleavers.
And here are some rules to follow, so pay attention. Make sure you follow at LOL Esports, #MundoFace, and make sure you tell us your region, US, UNE, or NA. For more info on this contest, head over to facebook.com/League of Legends or to the official League of Legends forums on the website.
Well, we've got plenty more excitement in store for you. Ninjas in Pajamas take on Alternate in a little while. But first of all, it's Lemon Dogs and Gambit in our 3rd match. So let's head over to Shox, who's going to bring in the teams.
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you very much, Joe, once again. Now it's time to introduce our teams here for the next matchup. First up, on the blue side, with Mithy on support, is going to be Lemon Dogs. And on the red side, the Russian powerhouse Gambit Gaming. The players are in place and ready to go. Let's head over to Jason and D-Man and Quinton and Gilligan for the game.
Thank you very much, Shox. Welcome back, everyone, to the 3rd game of the day here in sunny Tenerife. You just saw the teams on stage, so let's get straight into the game.
Yeah, of course, starting off with the blue side, we're going to be having Gambit Gaming here. Going to have Darren, obviously going to be in that top lane, followed up by Diamond Prox in the jungle, Alexich middle, and Genja and Darker as AD carrying support.
That's a scary top lane for Darian, if you remember back to this game that happened before. But in the red team, it will be Zora Zero, Dexter, who was magnificent the last time these guys met, Nuke Duck, Tabs, and Mithy as the support. The Spanish reference there, as RNA just mentioned, if you may well have seen it. But before we get further into this, of course, let's check out what you guys at home have picked up to win here. Who do you think is going to win? What are we thinking? Percentages?
Well, and for this, I'm just going to say it because I know what it is already.
You know what it
for
is,
this matchup, 81% of the people think Gambit are going to win.
That's That's big.
Considering how hard they got destroyed last week, I'm a little bit surprised at that.
That's yeah, of course. And remember, of course, you guys can vote for all the LCS matches. Head over to lolesports.com. You know where it is. Click on the matches, click on the thumb, and vote for who you're rooting for. So, these teams, they have met twice before. So, the first time was at DreamHack week 1. Of course, you guys would have seen it. There was a big crowd there, and it was Gambit that came out on top. But recent meetings was the real eyebrows rouser. And I'm telling you, these things are going up. It was Lemon Dogs. They smashed their way to victory. 23 minutes. It kind of caught my jaw on the floor.
Yeah, and we were all surprised at how ridiculous Dexter was in that game. He went 8-0 and 5, I believe, at the end of that with his Elise. Really snowballed early on. And not to mention, Lemon Dogs have now gone 4-1 with their new support Mythic coming in. He's really blended in quite well. He's really bringing like a new energy to the team. And it seems like every single member of Lemon Dogs has really kind of stepped up to the next level for this.
Yeah, it's definitely changed the team dynamic around. But Gambit, of course, they've been strong for pretty much the whole split. You know, they had a great run of, I think it was 6 wins at one point. But they just seem to have had a hiccup every once in a while. In their last game against Lemon Dogs, it was not very good to watch. They had all their favorite champions, and they still got completely crushed.
And their champion picks might have been reminiscent of their old M5 days, but the play sure was not.
No.
Gambit was the first team, though, from the spring split to really show their dominance, though, going 9-6. This season has earned them a tie for first place, but with all these teams climbing up the ladder, they have to be careful. They don't want any more hiccups. They really need to start locking down these wins if they want to have the high hopes of going to the playoffs.
And what do we expect to see from picks and bans here? Because, you know, we've seen Lemon Dogs smashing Gambit. We've seen NIP smashing Gambit. There's been a lot of teams that have done this lately. These are losses that you just never used to see before. If they lost, it would be a long, drawn-out, tough fight. But that was just absolute massacre.
Yeah.
They would not even close them games.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Elise taken away by Gambit, away from Lemon Dogs. Don't let Nuke Duck play that again because he did extremely well on it. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm looking at Lemon Dog's side, particularly what you want to ban out against Gambit. And there's a lot of champions obviously you can go for, but we did see Darren playing Jace top lane, which is kind of a comfort champion for him, but he got destroyed by NIP. He got camped consistently, went 0-5 in the laning phase. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Lissandra taken away by Gambit for Lemon Dogs, and I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Udyr or Lee Sin banned away from Diamond Procs. Obviously, we saw Udyr earlier on today, did not work out well for him because there's too much CC to go up against, but Diamond, he is the Udyr player if it's not Makade.
Well, looking back at the last time these guys met, Udyr, Evelyn, and Shen was banned out by Lemon Dogs, so kind of everything really targeted at the jungler effectively. Or you could just say Shen, generic ban, could be jungler, could be top. But Lissandra, Nunu, and Twisted Fate was banned out by Gambit. And of course, we're talking about Zora Zero in the top lane. We've just seen a great Malphite from Wicked in the last match. Zora Zero plays a great Malphite as well. Again, as you mentioned, Elise, just gotta get rid of that because honestly, Elise seems to be the niche champion right now. We can see Zora Zero there on your screen, and you know, like you said, he picked Kennen last time around. He played very well on that. It's another one of his champions, which is interesting because right at the beginning of the season, everyone was saying he could only play Malphite. His repertoire of champion has definitely increased.
And people saying it was his own team saying it, that he could only play Malphite top lane. But he's shown us he's really adapted well. He's using a lot of AP assassins or AP champions in the top lane, which a lot of top laners are having to kind of switch to. So see if he's going to go maybe Kennen again.
Wow, Darian with the suave there going on. Not so good with Vladimir though last time around. As we mentioned, he was focused last time, 161, and honestly, it got to the point where I think it was like 187 gold was the kill. It was like, wasn't worth it, but they were just focusing, camping him in the top lane. It's what we've seen teams do way back through the seasons.
Yeah, so Gambit has always known that Darren likes to push up, be aggressive, push that first turret down, get past that, and he always gets ganked. But the thing was, they always made plays off of that. They always kind of went for objectives, whether it's Dragon, whether it's other turrets, and really kind of force or punish the team for doing that. But over the last couple of weeks, they've been killing Darren over and over again, and Gambit hasn't been able to respond.
Absolutely, we do see Lemon Dogs on the screen. They seem in good spirits here in Tenerife, as pretty much a lot of the players are, to be honest. They're happy to be out of the studio and into a beautiful sunny country and enjoying themselves around the pool, enjoying the weather they have in Tenerife. Actually, I mean, to be fair, the weather's not a great deal different from Cologne.
It's not. I think it's a little bit cooler, actually.
You think? I'm not sure about that.
I would say with the breeze. With the breeze, there is. It's definitely a little bit nicer. But I mean, we all experienced the pool yesterday. We all laid out. Some of us got a little bit more burn than others. But I mean, no, it's really cool because you're seeing all these gamers here. It's just kind of like DreamHack, where it's a giant LAN party for everyone to play at. And we walk, through the expo of that, and everyone's playing. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people are playing League of Legends. At least like 70% of them. And it's glad to see that they're enjoying the game so far.
Yeah, some of the teams did turn up fairly late last night as well, but some of them were here earlier on, and like you say, they've all been enjoying the pool. Everybody's been still close camaraderie in the European scene is really one of the best things about the European scene. I always find, you know, I've been across the other scenes and seen them, but it's just the European scene, everybody seems to get along. There's no real haters in the scene, and even the new teams that have come along, the Lemon Dogs, obviously one of the newer ones, they came in all cocksure of themselves, you know, the fact that we're going to come and we're going to top the league. They were still humble when it actually came down to it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I had to figure that's like the best part. And there you see Mithy's getting a little bit of attention there, being the only Spaniard here in this game. And as you do have picks and bans already starting, bans are coming in.
Well, so Varus being banned away from Tabs, which is interesting one. He has actually played Varus a few times. We were talking about how Caitlyn used to be his go-to champion, but Varus definitely has been his champion lately. Udyr being taken away once again, as we said, from Diamond Prox. So maybe they haven't got a CC comp that they're going to work with. Kennen being taken away. Just saw the stats from Zoro Zero. Maybe Gambit were looking as well.
This is really interesting to me, is that Gambit showing a lot of respect to Lemon Dogs. After that last week, they banned out a Varus, they banned out a Kennen. Usually they just go for normal safe bans they would do against any team, but they're specifically taking away champions that really gave them a problem last time, and that's really cool to see.
Yeah, and again, that's exactly the targeted champions. We look at the last game they played, Kennen, Varus, and Elise were all one of the top picks, and they've all been banned out. So they've looked at the last match, they wondered, okay, well, we got beaten in 23 minutes. Perhaps we should pay a little bit of attention to Lemon Dogs, pay them a little bit more respect than we did last time.
And the Evelyn ban I'm looking at, I'm a little bit surprised at. I mean, I believe it's 14 bans now against Diamond, but we saw him last week on against NAP, didn't do anything. And you talked about specifically that week that, you know, Twist Fate we saw like go through a couple of times, and it seems like since teams haven't been practicing it because it's normally banned, they forget how to play it. And it seemed kind of like that with Diamond with that Evelyn, but I'm sure that's not going to happen again this time.
Well, Jace being banned out as well. That's actually, they were almost the same bans Lemon Dogs did the other week. Shen is available. That means they do pick up Sona. Gambit always stack their hopes on Sona. It is the number 100% pick for them half the time.
Look what got through, Demon.
100% half the time. Not sure how that works.
Works 60% of the time, every time. But yeah, look what got through. It's Twisted Fate. So we're going to have Nuke on Twisted Fate. We're going to have Zoro Zero on Rise top lane. So we got the double AP comp, but also we have a lot of CC built into that. You have really Takis out of Rise. You have the Rune Prison. You have the gold card out of Twisted Fate. You can obviously be around the map quite a bit. But yeah, the Sona pick, that's pretty much like a guaranteed thing that again is going to take. And we're going to see Dark on him yet again.
It looks like Diamond may well go for Jarvan this time around. What will Alex do to counter the fact that he is going to be up against the Twisted Fate? Darian, of course, he's going to be up against Rise in the top lane, which honestly has been almost the 100% pick in the top lane of career. Hasn't quite shone through in the European scene. Hasn't been a main staple for them. They've preferred to go with the tanky champions.
If I'm not mistaken, this is how it kind of runs, where Rise, he's really susceptible to ganks early on. So if a team does it against you, that means for your jungler to gank every other lane and really get them super far ahead because you know their jungler won't be there. But in Europe, it kind of hasn't been like that, and we're seeing actually another very early Kassadin pick.
Well, blind picking into the mid lane is always a dangerous thing. Kassadin against Twisted Fate is certainly as close as a counter as you can get. He's got the teleport as well, but speaking of blind, the blind monk may well be taken. It is going to be Lee Sin in that jungle, so Dexter once again, and that's ballsy. I was going to say, that's ballsy to play Lee Sin against Diamond, although he didn't do too well in it last time they met, is a big move.
And I'm actually curious if he's going to end up going for that, but with the Kassadin pickup, so yeah, we have him going to be going against Twisted Fate most likely, though I would assume Lemon Dogs would send Thresh and Caitlyn against him into a 2v1, really hold Alex behind, because he's kind of like, to me, the glue of the team. He's the guy that makes like really big plays happen, really kind of carries you out. And if you deny him that, if you stop him from getting to that point where he's really strong, then obviously he won't be able to be that glue, he won't be able to hold that team together.
Well, we're waiting for the Tabs Caitlyn to get locked in. Looks like it probably will be that one. It's what it tends to be his go-to champion. It's either Varus or Caitlyn these days. Thresh alongside him. So that means the AD carry and the top laner are left remaining for Gambit. What are we expecting? Shen's still available for Darian.
I think we might see Ezreal for Genja. Ooh, I would be surprised at actually seeing that. I don't think we've ever seen Darian play
Well,
Singed.
Proxy Darian works with whatever champion he runs.
Yeah, it's pretty much Proxy Darian now. It's not even any champion he plays, but Ezreal or Misfortune, I would say, for Genji. He hasn't played Misfortune that much this split. He's been playing more Ezreal than that, or that Varus. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. But the Singed, I mean, yeah, I was about to say, I'm going to wait till something actually gets locked in before I start talking about him, because we know Diamond, he plays Shyvana quite a bit back in Season 2. That was like the first champion he really got put on.
Not happening. Not happening. It will be Lissandra maybe for Darian. It's going to be one or the other. It's Shen locked in, sure enough. And wow, Misfortune being pulled back out by Genji here. Hasn't played that in a very long time.
Yeah, he was all about Misfortune in the summer or spring split, and he's been straying away from it. I'm not sure exactly why, but we're going to find out in this game how necessarily it goes. And assuming they're going to be in a 2v1, it's going to be a very easy lane for Gambit to harass. I believe they would send them against Zora's. Wow, how did we forget about Nunu?
Oh, well.
How did we forget about him as he gets through?
And alongside Caitlyn, that actually fills the gap that Caitlyn has midway through.
Wow. Okay, so let's... Well,
He hasn't locked in yet. It's not locked in yet. Oh, we'll see.
Okay, let's ignore that half of the screen right now as he's like just picking through champions. So we're going to see Darian on Shen. Obviously, one of his best champions. He plays it quite a bit. He's very tanky. Can be very difficult to deal with when you're level 6. But then again, you're going to have a Twisted Fate. What are you hoping for?
I was completely put off by the guy in a Luke Skywalker outfit walking past. I was like, what the hell? Was not expected to see that. But nevertheless, the bans, the picks, it's a Nunu. It is locked in.
Okay, so just like you said, going to help make Caitlyn a lot more powerful mid-game. That look you're giving me is really throwing me off. But he's also going to be very strong in the jungle, depending on if he can actually counter jungle. That's the whole point of him. If you can get into the enemy territory, steal away buffs, you're going to be very hard to deal with. You're going to keep the enemy jungler behind. But then again, his ganks are still relatively strong. That's slow. When you level up the ice spots, it's really hard to kind of escape that, and you're kind of forced to fight or pop a summoner, obviously.
Well, I mean, again, I guess you could look at Gambit. I said this exactly the same last time these guys met. It was almost Moscow 5-esque before. That was against NIP, I believe it was. But this time around, this is like Spring Split Gambit right now. Shen, Jarvan, Kassadin, Misfortune, Sona. This is Edward back in the team. Spring Split Gambit. Is this what they need?
I mean, we're going to find out. I mean, I honestly could not tell you if this is exactly what they need. I mean, they've had hiccups here and there, but they're always a strong team either way, even if they lose 23 in 23 minutes. But one thing I want to point out real quick is that, so Dexter picked Nunu into Misfortune when he knows Genja never takes attack speed, ever. He goes for the Bloodthirster Last Whisper kind of combo, just get the extra attack damage so he can be a caster ED instead of more of an auto attack champion. And I'm really curious to see if that's what he's going to build yet again.
Well, there is Mithy on your screen, the third Spaniard of the day, or technically I guess you could say fifth if we counted the two in TCM earlier on today. Will he be successful? We just heard Aaron Ayer talking about how worried he is that the Spanish team's players are all losing their games. He's hoping that doesn't become the case for his match. Of course, we are about to get underway. What do we see? What are you thinking? Where's your money on? Lemon Dogs, the rising stars, Gambit, the team that's always been there.
I'm going to say, I hate to be a little bit biased, but I think it would be Gambit. Just because of the whole champion pool that they're running right now, the whole Crescendo Misfortune Ultimate combo, the whole Jarvan lock you down to Cataclysm, you're not going to move away from that and get locked down, even if Darian lands a nice taunt across the people in there. I really like that whole combo they have, not to mention Alex. When he gets a champion that can roam, like a Kha'Zix, a Zed, a Kassadin, he is phenomenal. It's going to be really hard for Lemon Dogs to kind of deal with, but it's a twist of fate. He can always be really powerful. It just depends on his early game interaction.
Definitely a champion I prefer to see him on. Someone being very aggressive. So Gambit is the blue team on your screen. We're seeing Darker. He's going to throw that ward in the banana bush. And of course, Lemon Dogs on the red team, who in turn put their own wards down. Looks like Lemon Dogs are trying to get aggressive. They want to get that ward in towards the Wraiths. There it is. It's Dexter that puts it in there. The back of the red. Are they going to continue though?
They can. They have so much more CC over Gambit right now that they could go for a fight if they wanted to, and they just straight bullied them out with 3 members of Lemon Dogs. So Gambit looks like they might potentially give away the red buff, or Dexter might start at blue. They kind of swing around to go in there, but they're spotted retreating here, and the wards, I mean, that was a lot of, look how much money they've invested. That's 3-4 wards now down on the map.
Well, that tells me that they have to really be going for that red. They have to try and do something about it. If they're going to invest that much coverage to keep an eye on Diamond Prox, they want to know where he's going. They want to maybe go for that invade. Gambit, in the meantime, are going to go down the bottom. Look at that. That's a nice stat for Diamond there. 100% win rate, 4 times played. That's a scary stat to go up against straight away for Dexter. But Dexter himself has been playing incredibly well. We are seeing Darian. He's going to be in the top lane. Are we going to see lane switches? Or will this be another invade from Lemon Dogs? Are they going to try and throw wards down towards the blue buff? No, it looks like it's going to be the change of lanes. Tabs and Mithy look like they're going to be sticking around in that top alongside Dexter.
Huh. So I am really amazed that they have this many wards down over towards the red side of the map. And as I say that, their ward does go down on their own blue, so they are going to spot it here, Rise to pop one down. So they're going to know where Diamond's starting, and it looks like they're going to take away the blue here, but with all that money invested at red, why would they not go red? Or why would they not have plans to take it away?
Well, a lot of them have been taken out as well. So we'll see whether that's actually it was Explorer Ward on the back of red, wasn't it? It must have been put down there. Dexter, though, is going to take this one without using his smite. Nuke well, the top lane, taking a lot of pressure, uses the mana card, wasn't really the one he wanted to pull, but it does mean that it's actually going to be Nuke in the top lane up against Darian, which means the AD and the support goes in towards the mid lane, which will be Tabs and Mithy. on Caitlyn and Thresh, and they're going to be up against Alex Ich, and actually that's a pretty wise move because Alex is going to struggle in that lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we expected coming into the picks and bans, that they would try to go for this lane swap here, so it's going to be holding him back quite a bit. He knew this was happening, though, as he already started with that door and shield. And we're going to see how top lane, though, with the whole switch for them, is this going to benefit Lemondogs? The harass you do and the holding back of Alex mid lane is the same thing that happened to Nukeduck in this.
And how is Zorazero going to do in that bottom lane? The fact that he's up against Genja and Darker in that AD role and support role.
Well, the thing is, Ryze, he really gets powerful once he has that tier, once he has that catalyst done. And if he's here pretty much getting denied farm, he's going to take a lot longer to pick that one up. But Diamond, he might potentially coming around for a gank on him bottom lane, and it's around that 330 mark. This could actually be a free kill for them.
Well, he's got the double buff. We'll see whether he goes for it. Zorazero chugging through that mana. I'm not too sure whether he's got the crystalline flask on the go. There's going to be a giant wave coming in. Will he see him slide through? No, he's just going to back straight away. He's like, nope, not having any of that. Meanwhile, we do see the mid lane as well doing just the same thing. Dexter throwing that Blood Boil onto Tabs. That will be the first turret of the game, and it is going to be the mid.
That is a very, very early first turret for Lemondogs. Yeah, they're continuing to go here, and with that Nunu, the Blood Boil, like you're talking about before, making Caitlyn stronger as the game goes on, it's really working out. They're going to get a lot of damage onto this turret.
Alex Ich trying his best to clear out the waves, but we do see this bottom turret. It hasn't been taken down yet by Gambit, but they're just simply doing some dirty farming in between. Meanwhile, Alex Ich, he's desperately forcing him away. Gambit in the top lane, though, could manage to pull something around here. Nukeduck with that stun card pulled, though, not too worried about Darien. He is very, very low, though.
And Demon, take a look at, wow, Lemondogs are still pushing middle, as you can see on the minimap. They really want this turret, and the thing is, the trade-off from this, Zorazero is still level 1. That is what they're trading. They're going to trade the bottom turret in that fact, and it looks like they might actually be able to pick it up.
Well, an inner turret taking all that vision away is going to give Zorazero sometimes some lane to just get himself some free farm. That is going to be the bottom turret taken for Gambit. They're keeping the pressure on down there. We do see Lemondogs 3-man still sticking around. This is a plan they've clearly worked on. 83% pick and ban rate for Nunu. It doesn't get through very often, and we'll maybe seeing why, because that is going to be the inner turret landing. Darker, though, getting hooked in. He's going to try and follow through on this one. Flay is available. He's just going to try and get some damage down. He is going to walk away from that one. No, obviously nobody anywhere near ultis at the moment because they're still all level 3.
Wow, I'm just still amazed at how quick they took that. On average, they take the first turret 10 minutes and 29 seconds in, but they've taken the middle outer and the middle inner in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. That is just crazy. It shows how they've been changing up their playstyle, because their manager, actually no, them particularly talked to us saying, yeah, we've changed up our style a little bit, and with Mythic coming to team, it's really facilitated that. But how's it going to affect Zorazero? So if we think back to EG versus Lemondogs, I believe it was last week or the week before, they pretty much punished Zorazero quite a bit on his Rise, but the thing was, they left him, no, it was SK, they left him to farm forever in the top lane, and because of that, he ended up becoming strong enough that, yeah, the harass, the pushing they did earlier on didn't really matter in the end, and I'm curious, is Zoro going to have that opportunity this time? Because he's sitting at 9 CS, 5.5 minutes in.
Well, we do see Dexter heading down the bottom lane. Genja's on his own at the moment, but he can't go in for this one. He is going to gain those levels up as well. You can see he's up to level 4 already, so quickly gaining that experience back. We do see Darker hovering around the side, trying to put those wards back out. So I think we're probably going to see a little bit of a stall in the game here, because when you take turrets out that fast, you can't help but stall the game out a little bit, because everyone suddenly realizes, I haven't even got an ulti yet.
Yeah, I mean, we have to keep in mind this, though. Because there's a Nunu, because they already have the second middle turret down, that means that Gambit has to invest so much money into wards to stop Dexter from counter-jungling them completely. And you already see Lemondogs, they have quite a few wards down over towards the middle side of the map, pushed into Gambit's territory, and right now they're going for a 3-man push on this top side. It's like a 3-man gang where they're just running around. Those 3 will go to a turret, it'll take out that, or take it out.
Diamond's coming in to try and interrupt here. He's got Darko with him. Also coming up the lane is going to be Darien, so at the moment it's going to be a 3v3, but that turret is taking a lot of punishment here. Now we're going to see a little bit of pressure being applied, but honestly, again, without any ultis here, this is all very close. So there's lots of members all close to 6 right now in terms of experience. We can see it just on your screen there. Dexter's only about to hit level 5. The Diamond is already at 5. We'll see what the sort of advantages maybe gives them, taking away all that vision from that mid lane. It's actually going to force a lot of wards to come out from Gambit, I would assume.
Yeah, and the really funny thing is, look at Dexter's build. So we talked about him and how they push the 2 middle turrets, I swear I can talk, and they need to ward up heavily so they can counter jungle. He picked up a Sightstone as his first item. He didn't build any sort of spirit item, and he just shows he wants to keep warding up aggressively, and they want to keep pushing this advantage. Right now, he's heading down towards bottom, or potentially Dragon here, or actually potentially towards his blue, and Dragon is a very real possibility.
So he's actually given up a lot of experience from his jungle here, just in purpose basically to stay in the lane. He's getting that experience, soaking it up from the lane phase, which is where you can see Lemondogs, now they're taking that blue buff, himself, giving it across to Nuke, so he's going to be back in the mid lane. So lane's almost normal for them right now, apart from the fact that Genja, he's been off on his own down that bottom lane, farming on his own. Looks like Alex is going to take that blue buff. That's going to be his, and we'll see whether he motors on up towards his top lane. No, looks like he will be going back to the mid lane. He's got to cover it off.
All right, so with that blue, with that tier, stacking that up, it's going to be very dangerous. And there's 38 CS, but obviously it casts in snowballs so quickly. We're going to see how that's going to work out for them. And Dexter, I mean, he's been giving up quite a bit of experience, but because he's been sitting in lanes, he's been able to catch up as Darker gets pulled.
Darker gets pulled, the lantern gets thrown out. Tab's taken very low here. Flay coming out from Darian, but he did manage to get the kill there with the Ignite. I was not expecting that, and I don't think Mithy was either.
I don't think Tabs was, because he had barrier up and he didn't even pop it. I was really curious what even happened to him, because he just took a chunk of damage. It was because of Darker. He had his power cord up and he was able to do that extra bit of a chunk, catching Tabs off guard, because I guarantee he would have survived with that barrier actually popped. But Dexter, with that pink ward, he's setting up to potentially go for Dragon here. But thing is, Darian's level 7, so he has his ultimate available. Their AD carry, Tabs, and Mithy are still heading towards the top side. They want that turret, so Dragon's not going to be a real possibility anytime soon.
Well, last time we saw Nuke on Twisted Fate, he did a lot of roaming, certainly created a lot of opportunities, but it took him a long time to get going, to get to that point. Of course, he's going to be looking to get that Lich Bane out there as long as that death cap, so we'll see which way he builds this one, honestly, which way it's going to go first, whether he's going to go for that Zhonya's, whether he's going to be the focus. Certainly Alex Itch is probably going to be focusing on him, so he built it very differently the 2 or 3 times I recall him playing it.
Yeah, I really want to know what's going to happen in the end, because it's all about that middle game that's going to be coming up in about, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes. Because if Lemon Dogs, if they push that early, they have to have a plan, and they have to be able to execute it. As you see the poke come in, not going to land on Alex. And it looks like Gambit are the team that's actually set up for Dragon right now, because they do have that pink ward on it.
Well, of course, they have Darian in the top lane. They can Shadow Dash in. Stand United in. He could Shadow Dash in. He could technically do that. He kind of needs to be a little bit closer to do it in the first place, though. Darian, though, has lost that top turret. Minions took that down, so it is 3-1 now to Lemon Dogs and turrets. That's 2 down the mid lane, 1 up top. So the bottom lane almost certainly going to be their next focus. We do see Lemon Dogs, though, coming in here. Cataclysm comes out straight on towards Mithy. There's Stand United. They're going to slide in there, and Mithy is getting massacred. There's no way he's getting out of that one. Everybody were piled on to that poor support, and that probably means that the Dragon Force? The Dragon will go to Gambit. I don't know where Dragon Force came into. It's the power cords. That's where he was.
But Darren not going to get caught. But yeah, in the meantime, so that was a great play by Gambit to realize, hey, Tabs is still top lane. We have a Shed who can get into the middle of this fight. And a great job by Diamond to set that up as well, because he EQ'd over back towards Mithy, and then Shen was just right there like, hey, that's perfect position for me. Lands the taunt, they end up picking up the kill. And most importantly, he got one over to Alex. So he might be able to snowball this really soon if he can just maybe get a couple of items and start to roam around a little bit.
So here's something I don't get. How is Tabs so far ahead in CS when Genja's been off on his own down the bottom the whole time?
I have no words for that. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened in the lanes, and I really don't have an answer for that. I'm trying to think. Is there anything specific that happened? And it might just be due to the whole blood well for Tabs, able to pick up the CS quicker. He's been roaming around picking up CS from other lanes, and that might be due to it. Yeah,
okay, that's a legit explanation. We are seeing the triple Doran's Blade once again teleport into that bottom lane. Alex is going aggressive, trying to catch on towards Zora Zero, but here comes Nuke, throws out the wild cards. Is it going to be enough damage though? Has to take the Dark Passage to back away, and Lemon Dogs, well, a number of ultis used there. No real success from either team though.
And we touched on Nuke item build a little bit earlier, and this time it looks like he's going for wave clear. So if you go for that Lich Bane, you want to get turrets on really quickly. If you go for the death cap, which it looks like he's currently going to be trying to build, you just want to push waves, you want to try to siege away. And the thing is, he doesn't need to be the one sieging. You have a Caitlyn, you have a Nunu. You're not the one that needs to be doing that, so you can build a little bit more damage and be more effective in team fights.
Well, we do see the... Oh, Dexter going for the Absolute Zero. Just clear out the wave. A little bit of farming, free farming on the turret. So that's going to be down for a short period of time. 3 members still of Lemon Dogs down this bottom lane. They did say this is going to be the next outer turret they want to target. And it looks like they're still going to stick around for it full force. But it is going to be just 3 members versus 3. So it means they can't really take this on. Tabs desperately wants to land a couple more shots on the turret, but it's not allowed.
Yeah, Gambit's been doing a good job of rotating, predicting where Lemon Dogs want to go and just kind of shutting it down. In the meantime, though, Zora Zero, who's been running, 2 different lanes, is actually catching up in CS. He's actually ahead of Darian right now, and that's going to make him even more strong, or even stronger. Looks like he will be going for his Archangel stat before he even goes to Rod of Ages. So he does have that Blasting Wand done already, but he doesn't have his Catalyst done just yet.
Not just yet. We are seeing in this top lane, Zoro, look at this though, it's at 72 CS, considering, oh, he gets a little bit of a shadow dash taunt on towards him. Zoro turns around, pops his ultimate. Not really, it's pretty much even trade between the two. The fact that Zoro was kept pretty much camped out at the start, he's definitely brought himself back into this one very well. He's actually equal on level now with Darian.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic job by him. And also Lemondogs to realize where they were really hurt from that. I mean, it seems like they've practiced this strategy quite a bit with the push on the 2 middle turrets, and they know how to make Zoro really kind of get back in the game. And Diamond, he tried to stop this blue being taken here. He's still sticking around, and it looks like Gambit, they don't want to let this one go. They want to contest this.
Well, both have Smite available, Consume also for Dexter, but it looks like it's Gambit. They're going to go strong arm their way in towards this one. Going to try and give it across. It's Diamond that's going to take it with the Smite.
In the meantime, Zoro still pushing that top lane, so gave her the blue buff, didn't lose anyone, and you're letting your Ryze, who's going to be pretty much the tankiest member of your team with the current way that Dexter's building, to get that farm to get where he needs to with his item build. And looking at Dexter, looks like he will go for an Aegis here.
Well, and this is interesting, the fact that the gold, of course, they did get the Dragon Gambit. The gold is actually very tight. It's 3-1 in turrets, the Lemondogs. They are, of course, 2-0 down, but obviously with Twisted Fate on Lemondog's side, you'd expect them to be way ahead in gold right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because Gambit, like we said before, usually, that you might beat them in kills, but they'll always out-farm you. And right now, they're up in kills, but they're also pretty much out-farming them, and they're keeping up with them. And that Dragon definitely helped out quite a bit. And Zoro, he's starting to be a force to wreck with. He's able to push Darren out of lane here, and Dexter was kind of just going around the map, warding up. So he's pretty much being like a mobile support. He's not really a tank. He's not really fully utility either. He's just trying to spot for everyone on Lemondogs.
And it seems that Rabadon's Death Cap is going to be the first item that Nugdog wants to head towards, judging by the fact that he's got that needlessly large rod in there early. Of course, wants to get that little bit of a power spike. Red buff will be going across the Diamond. Oh no, Genja's going to pop up and take it maybe. Nope, it will be Diamonds. He's going to use his Smite once again to clear that out. So, advantage right now is technically with Lemondogs, despite the fact we are seeing the 2-0 up. The 3-1 in turrets gives them that extra map control, but Gambit don't seem too worried about that. They haven't really overly warded to make up for it.
I think they found the weak point of Lemondogs, and I think it all came down to that Dragon. Just the fact that Lemondogs should have ward control in the jungle of Gambit, like right when they got those 2 turrets. They should have wards down, and the thing is, Gambit responded since they saw Tap's top lane to go for the Dragon, and because of that, Gambit was able to get the extra gold, get the extra bit of experience, and really kind of close that gap away. So now Lemondogs, they're not as far ahead as they'd like to be right now, and they're actually heading down towards bottom here. They want to go for Genja, they want to go for that turret. They have a pink ward down, so they're trying to prepare for the next Dragon to come. But Diamond, he's in hot pursuit.
Well, the BF Soul's been picked up by Genja already, along with those triple Doran's Blade he had. Meanwhile, Tabs, he's rushing for that Infinity Edge. So we'll see who is going to win out in this one. Diamond Prox goes aggressive on towards Mithy, forces a little bit of pressure on towards him. Of course, the extra hit points that Genja's going to have will slow down his build, but he is going to be stronger when it comes to that fight. Absolute Zero being popped there by Dexter just around the corner to try and catch someone else, see if they're going to walk in towards it. Weren't quite falling for it though, Gambit.
And Alex, who got punished early on in a 1v2 lane, is actually out-CSing his counterpart right now, Nugdog, with 138 to 132 CS. So right now, Lemondogs, I think it kind of slipped out of their hands, and Gambit, they had a perfect response to it. They're playing this phenomenally, and they're really starting to get some leads in their lanes. I mean, they have a gold advantage right now.
They do, and it's starting to stretch more as the Dragon spawns out. This time though, Gambit not really in place for it, and Lemondogs seem to have more members closer by, but again, neither team honestly positioning for it. Gambit seems to be, Diamond sat there going, come on guys, get here, gather. We want to fight for this Dragon, and the rest of his team are like, I'm just buying, I'm down in the shop, don't worry, I'll be there in a minute.
And let's see if they do go for here. Genja's gonna actually start it off, tanking it himself. There will be a ward to spawn him here, and remember, we do have Alex on castle. He's very mobile. He'll be able to get down here quick enough. And we do have Darren with his ultimate available to come in, and it looks like the fight will happen.
They're going to go in for Mithy. Mithy hooks on towards Dark and Cataclysm from Diamond to the side there. There's a teleport coming in. That's going to be Alex Itch switching round. Mithy taken very low here. Crescendo comes out, doesn't quite find his target. Wildcard's being tossed out there. Tabs desperately trying to get away. Alex Itch should finish this one off. Barrier comes down. Stun count from Nugdog. Zoro trying to do a drive-by, but Alex Itch once again turns it around. Picks up 1, picks up 2. The rest of the team had to back away, and everyone from Lemon-Dog's very, very low after that fight.
And just like that, with that 1 kill Alex got earlier on, now he's 3-0. Now he is really strong. You saw him take out Tabs and 0-0 while tanking them both. They're going to get Dragon on top of this, and the whole strategy that Lemon-Dogs had is just now gone. They need to come up with some other plan to kind of deal with Gambit because they're just starting to walk over them.
Well, it's a 2,000 gold lead for them, 4-0. Despite the fact they lost those turrets early on, they just didn't seem worried about it. And the experienced heads of Gambit seem to be turning this one around. And honestly, once you start giving Alex it's that little bit of a gold lead, it becomes a serious, serious problem. And you can see in comparison, he's almost 1,000 ahead of Nukeduck now. And that may well be critical when you consider the fact that the passive that Nukeduck has is giving him gold.
Oh, he might get caught here by Alex.
He certainly is going to get caught. There's the Null Sphere. There's the Force Ball. Swift walks on towards him. There's no way Nukeduck's going to be able to walk away from this one. He's got to try and time it. He's going to have to use his ultimate, which is not available, so he's screwed.
I like the way that fight ended. But yeah, I mean, we can talk about Twist of Fate, that pick. He hasn't been mid lane, so he hasn't been roaming around. They ended the laning phase, so he wasn't able to gank any lanes. He hasn't been able to really do anything just yet, except provide that extra 2 gold per CS for his entire team. He does have obviously a lot of damage right now with that death cap, but I don't think they can afford to fight 5-on-5 against Gambit anymore.
No, they don't seem to be able to do that at all. And Alex, the more he roams, the more dangerous he becomes. Meanwhile, in this bottom lane, Tabs and Mithy, they're trying to shove up, but look at Gambit, they're closing and collapsing the gap around them. Darker Crescendo isn't available just yet. It will be up in a few moments, so couldn't flash in there and try and interrupt that one, but Blue Buff sure as hell is up, and Diamond, he's there once again.
Yeah, look at that timing. They're doing everything perfectly. I see Dragon's up, Pink Ward's gonna come down, so Lemon-Dogs are investing quite a bit into this, and they really want to get it over to their team, but Gambit, they're not afraid to fight right now. Crescendo will be up momentarily, and they're pulling this blue away. They're really trying to stall it out right now, and Alex, he's in mid lane. He's coming over. This is going to be a fight.
They hook on towards Darker, but they don't go for the bait. The stun card being pulled by Nukeduck. It's a full-on 4-on-4 fight. Now we're going to see more members coming in. It's a 5-on-5. There's the bullet time coming out from Genja. We're going to see Alex Itch. He's going to dive on towards Mithy. Crescendo comes out. Mithy's going to get dropped once again. They're focused that support every time. The Spaniards, they're getting picked on.
Oh my gosh, I just made that connection too. And that poor guy. But anyways, so Gambit, they did, I believe, take away that blue buff. They're going to be able to push this middle turret here and pick up another one for themselves, give themselves even more of a gold lead. And Alex, 4-0-1. We talked about him snowballing. We've been talking about him snowballing. He's starting to do it.
Yes, it's getting scary for them. He's already got that Rod of Ages completed. He is starting to stretch ahead in terms of Swarm. Oh my word, he's gone for the Soul Stealer. That is very confident stuff from Alex Itch.
I don't even have words for that. So he's hoping that Snowball turns into an avalanche for him, which it's been working out so well. So we'll see how many stacks he can actually get that to as the game goes on. And right now, Lemon-Dogs, I keep saying they need some sort of response here. I'm trying to think, what can they do? They can't really fight. So I think, if anything, Nukeduck needs a split push. He needs to apply that pressure to Gambit, but he also has to play very careful, because if he gets caught, then that means Gambit can just go for a Baron, they can go for inner turrets, or they can just lose a lot of objectives.
And the problem is he's had to use that ultimate to just basically defend his team every time so far. It's been Tabs and Mithy that get caught out, that he's had to go down and try and help them out. Kind of aggressive at one point, but it eventually turned into a bit of defensive. And Darian, he's been untouched. He's been off on his own, farming away, Sunfire Cape build. He's starting to slowly but surely move into that unstoppable Shed mode.
I'm trying to think, didn't Alex talk to you last week about how they let Twist of Fate go through because they know teams can't play him? And when we saw him pick last week, you saw Alex with this giant grin on his face, knowing that they can counter completely. It's kind of been happening right now. And Darren, we talked about him. Shen, you just talked about him. He's been pretty much being this unmovable object right now, and he's 143 CS, considering he was, kind of controlled a little bit earlier on, but he's not being stopped. His items are getting stronger, and right now, Tabs only has that Infinity Edge done. He's fallen behind everyone in CS on the other team.
Yeah, he did indeed talk about how much of a wasted ban it honestly is, because nobody really gets a chance to properly play at the pro scene. But we are seeing Alex Itch once again on towards Zorizu. This time Diamond's going to come sliding in. Cataclysm on towards the top of him. He's going to get caught out. Stan United is going to come out. It's not going to be enough. Alex Itch tries to go in, does get the kill on Zorizu, but now he's in escape mode. He has to get that Rift Walk out just before the stun card. Nukeduck comes back around. Stun card on towards Darker. Wild card follows through. But look at that. Alex Itch back in. Crescendo comes out just towards the death of them. Dexter, meanwhile, he's going one-on-one. Oh, he's going to get the support of Mithy. It's just about enough. It's a double kill for Dexter.
And in the meantime, Genja's able to push down middle, and that was an amazing play out of Alex, able to get quite a few stacks there as well, sitting at 3 off of that. And wow, I mean, that would have been even better for them. Obviously, if they could take everyone out, but Gendra, he's still pushing. He doesn't even need to be there for these fights because he's winning the game just with turrets.
And there's no one near him. He's took a good half the health off. We're seeing this Dexter that's running down, but he's not going to get close enough. That tower is going to go. Dexter is just going to get that strut passive and stroll away from this one and say, thank you very much. You wasted all your time in that top lane. I've just got 2 turrets in the mid.
And that's just like what Lemondogs did to them. Gambit didn't respawn when Lemondogs were pushing earlier on onto his 2 turrets. He did the exact same thing back, wasn't responded to, and now they just got a huge amount of gold from that. I mean, 2 turrets going down. Alex got 2 kills in that, actually it was 1 kill in the top lane, was able to survive long enough, no, it was 2, and then still able to roam around here. So you see a lot of items still going in. Darien has an Aegis picked up, and we do see the Runic Bulwark now done for Dexter.
Well, of course, he did get a couple of kills, which means he's starting to slowly stack up that book. It's up to 3 so far. We'll keep our eye on that. It's not an item we see a great deal of in the European scene. I have seen it in the Korean scene lately in the OGN, so I think it was Faker that maybe had that one, so no surprise there.
Yeah, he's probably playing LeBlanc, wasn't he?
No, I don't think he was. I can't think who it was, but we're seeing Diamond actually being pursued there. Ice Blast being tossed towards him from Dexter. I can never know whether that's Nunu or the what's his name, Willem, underneath that throws that out. It seems to come out the mouth. Anyway.
Honestly, couldn't answer that one for you. Maybe Free could a little bit later on the analysis stats. But there's 5 men pushing the spot lane. We do see Alex in the top end right now, just pushing that turret down. He has teleport to get in. They have wards for him to get in there as well. And we have that crescendo available very soon for Darker.
Well, Alex has taken that turret down. That's actually giving Gambit the advantage in terms of turrets. A couple more hits, but Lemondogs, they're going to try and pop the ulti. Zora Zero wants to go aggressive. Diamondprox is definitely not the one they want to pull, though. He'll quite happily turn around and cataclysm on everyone. And as this continues, we are seeing Alex, he just keeps on pushing that top.
And Lemondogs, they're being forced to run away in a 4v5, and Gambit, they might even try to go for engage here or just stop them from backing away.
Well, there's nothing that Alex can teleport into just yet. Of course, he can actually teleport into the Demacia standard, I believe.
Yep.
But it's not going to happen. He's happy to stick around. He's took himself another inner turret. Gambit are just taking all control of the map right now after such a great start for Lemondogs.
He's not done, Demon. He's still going. He's still pushing another wave up. And Gambit, with all that pressure, they can take a bottom inner turret off this. If we see Lemondogs actually back away, Alex might be coming in here to push middle now. And they're keeping all these waves shoved up against Lemondogs. And the damage for Lemondogs, it's just non-existent at this point.
We see Zora Zero. He's gone back. He's trying to deal with it. Now Alex is just rift walking across. He's starting to come in towards this inner turret just in time for the blue buff to spawn and take it for the 3rd time running. Did Alex not get that? Yes,
no,
he got it. He got it.
It's a little hard to see under his skirt or dress or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to insult Kassadin, but Dragon is back up. Gambit's already starting it right now, and that will be their 3rd of the game if I'm not mistaken. And Alex, he's still just roaming around picking up kills or picking up CS left and right, and he's at 240 CS. He is 70 CS ahead of his counterpart. That is just ridiculous.
Yeah, he is getting a big lead, slowly building up there. AD carriers have actually kept themselves fairly even between them, just a 500 gold difference. But as you mentioned, it is all about Alex Itch right now. He's got a 3,500 gold lead build up over Nukduk on Twisted Fate. And it does look like Zora is going to kick a claps on. Alex Itch is going to get stunned out here. But Shadow Dash comes out, Stan United, sorry. He's going to Shadow Dash across on towards Nukduk. See the flash coming out, the Rift Walk once again. Nukduk's going to get dropped here. And honestly, he wasn't even close. That wasn't a close fight.
I think Nuke was running backwards saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. As Alex just
Don't hurt me.
Exactly, but he ends up dying, ends up getting another stack over to Alex. That's 2 more. That should be up to 5 now. And Lemondogs finally able to take that bottom turret down. We do see Tabs, he's still pushing up right now, but Gambit, I mean, they could go for Baron off of this.
And they are indeed. Darian's already started it off. He's going to tank it through. Diamondprox comes around. Demacia standard on towards it. Alex Itch, meanwhile, is playing a little bit of catch with Dexter and Mythy. I don't think he's too worried about that. He's got the help of Darker to come around the side. Zora Zero is now going to get caught out. Force pulse from Alex Itch once again. Now onto Dexter. Slides in there. Diamondprox jumps on towards him. Cataclysm comes out. Dexter manages to get away from that one with a flash. And Gambit, they've just kept on going on the Baron.
Genja was actually tanking Baron, and Darien flashed over the wall to tank it for Genja so he wouldn't die. They did lose a bottom tier 2 turret, but they're going to get Baron off this, so they don't really care.
No, that's going to be the bottom inner turret down. So actually, there's a lot of turrets down in this game. It's 5-5 in terms of turrets. So Tab's done a good job along that bottom lane. But as you mentioned, the fact that they just picked up Baron is going to be a problem.
Oh no, we see teleport coming in from Kassadin. Alex is trying to go for the kill to Zoro.
Where is he going to go? He's going to rift walk across, catches a glimpse of Zora Zero. Instead, he's just going to clear the way. Thought he was maybe going to continue on that one. If it had gone around the side, he definitely would have caught out Zora Zero. That actually would be a close fight right now. Actually, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be close.
Yeah,
Looking at the items, not close. He's still going to catch him out. He's going to get the null sphere down. It will silence out Zora Zero. He could have possibly rift walk on towards that one in a moment, but instead realized that probably he's just pulled aggro from the entire Lemondogs team.
Exactly. I mean, you saw all of Lemon come up to the top side to deal with him, and Alex doesn't care. He's casting. He can get away. And Gambit, we talked about the team, using Darien. When he pushes up by himself, they know he's going to die, so they pretty much make a move off of knowing he's going to be killed. And right now, Gambit can do the same thing with Alex, where they might even be able to kill him.
And just look how tanky Gambit have built themselves. And double runic bulwark. Best to be safe. Best to be safe. Maybe they just realized the fact that Darian's going to be split pushing off. Diamond will be the team. And obviously then bonus effects are only going to be used once. Genja though, he's got himself the double buff along with the Baron. He's well farmed up. Their triple Doran seem to be working, paying dividends. He's got himself that last Whisper to go with the Bloodthirster. And again, as you mentioned, doesn't really build attack speed.
Yeah, I mean, he just does not do that. He likes to go caster, and with his ultimate coming down, he's going to be stronger than Tabs. He's going to put out way more damage than Tabs can kind of deal with, unless the fight does go obviously pretty long into it. Right now, they're trying to see just turn it down. Alex is coming up from the rear side. He's trying to go for a pick onto the side. As Darian's going to get pulled here, but they can't fight that.
No, that's not the one they want to pull in. Doesn't do a great deal of damage. Shredded about 1,000 health off him, though. But nevertheless, the rest of Gambit do join in. They keep the poke on towards Darien. There's only so much he will be able to take, though. It's not an endless well of health, but with that Baron buff on, of course, he will regen that quite quickly. Seeing Darker just off to the side, he's picking off all the wards that keep putting down Mithy once again. He's going to have to take it down. It's a battle with the Oracles right now. Ward fights going left and right, though. But look at the gold. It's a big advantage for Gambit. You'd expect them to maybe try and end this siege. The bottom wave will push itself in towards the inner turret. That may well be their next focus.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has to be. And the thing is, Gambit, they have the least amount of Barons taken out of the entire EU LCS summer split, and they're going to be going in for this turret here, so it shows they want to end the game soon.
They've gone in, and there's going to be the Cataclysm and Crescendo jumping on towards it. Zora Zero's taking the damage. Nuke's taken low. Alex X is actually in trouble. Sad and Stan United should be enough to protect him, though. Mithy getting caught out. That bullet time was magnificent from Genja. Called them all out. That's going to be Tabs going down along with Mithy. They did manage to get the kill on Alex. It's shutdown bonus for Zoro Zero, but it doesn't matter because the inhibitor turret, that's going to be the focus target. Nuke uses that ultimate, but honestly, he can't get close enough to engage. They haven't taken the inhibitor turret though. We're going to see the boots coming out, working out wonders for Zoro Zero. Can he get the damage down? Throws out the ultimate. He's putting a lot of damage down on towards Gambit. Not enough. Nuke has to throw out those wild cards. Can he land that red card? It was a yellow he wanted to pull. Nevertheless, throws out the wild card. Still, not enough damage from Lemon Dogs to chase them away from the base. Gambit instead choose to disengage.
And the thing is, the people who are low on Gambit is everyone but Genja, everyone but the damage dealer, so they have to give that one up. They have to go back to farming up, but the thing is, they can be happy with that. They defended up against a Baron Gambit and didn't lose an inhibitor turret. They'll take that trade. That was worth it.
That was not a bad trade because they kind of went for the kills, got a little bit greedy, and Alex Itch went flying in there. But that's kind of what you do. He's 8-2-2. He's thinking, I've got a Soul Stealer. I want to stack this thing high. I want to see if I can get to 20. But I don't think it's going to happen for him. As it is right now, it's on 5. So he's a long way off right now. He needs to get a good amount of kills. But we'll see whether the game lasts that long. We're approaching the 30-minute mark. It's a big advantage for Gambit, although only in terms of kills and gold because it's still 5-5 in turrets.
And still, I mean, it's kind of been showing how Gambit's been reacting with the 11-4 and kills. So they're kind of showing that they want to just fight, pick off people left and right here. Darker does have an Oracle, so they might try to go for a little bit more control. But with that Baron being down for a lot longer, they don't really have anything to take just yet. Dragon, 25 seconds, but they don't really care too much about that. They want to be aggressive. They want to be pushing up here. And I think they might resort back to that split pushing.
Absolutely. We see Alex back in that top lane. He needs to just try and clear those waves out. But Zoro Zero is getting stronger. If they delay the game out, he will become a bit of a beast on Rise. Nuke's only ever going to get stronger as well. The Twisted Fate, you can see he's got that Lich Bane. He's not really been able to get in and do a great deal about it. You can see he's got that Rabadon Death Cap on him as well, but he's not been able to split push. He's not been able to get anything going. It was actually Tabs as the only person that split push so far for Lemon Dogs, whereas Gambit, they've got a number of options. They can send out Darien, they can send out Alex Itch, hell, they can even send Genja out.
And the thing is, if Lemon Dogs won a team fight, I'm assuming, because they know that if Alex comes in, he can get locked down with Rude Prison, he can get locked down with a gold card, he can get locked down with a hook. And the thing is, if he does do that, that's a lot of their damage gone. They're going to be relying on Genja to really do the pain. And I mean, they just have to kind of stop the split pushing, force some team fights, and with those traps down out of Tabs, they're trying to defend up that middle lane, but they might actually try to push bottom, get that turret down.
Well, Alex Itch clears out the wave, and he's going to go back and buy. So we'll see what he comes out with. He's just shy of 300 CS. He's got 1,600 gold in him, so expected to be a fairly sizable item. Just sold one and gets another needlessly large rod. So yes, the ability power definitely getting much higher on Alex Itch. Mithy's backing off. He's kind of been the focus target at the moment for Lemon Dogs. focusing the Spaniards, the Russians have been doing that. Seems to be a plan that's worked out so far. Doing very well against Ocelot and Peke.
I feel like they're actually doing that on purpose.
Yes.
Knowing Gambit here, but they are grouped up towards the top side here. And it looks like they're trying to make their next move, so Lemon Dogs, this is the crucial point. If they can react to this properly, if they can pull this off well, they can really put a lot of pain on the game. They can really come back in this game. But if they don't execute it correctly, they're going to lose an inhibitor. They're going to lose more than that, and then probably they'll lose the game.
And of course, if you are watching, don't forget the North American LCS is also underway now as well, so you can tune in and watch both streams, get them both up and going. I think it's Vulcan TSM is going to be the game, first game of the day over than that one, so TSM up against Vulcan. Vulcan, of course, high up in the league. But meanwhile, it is all about the Europe. It's Velocity. No? Oh, it's in 1 hour. 1 hour? I've been told it's been live. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. Misinformation all across the board. Nevertheless, who cares? Because it's Gambit versus Lemon Dogs, and it's Gambit that are absolutely dominating right now. 20 seconds to the Baron, and that's going to be the next focus target.
And Gambit doesn't typically get 2 Barons. I mean, if they ever go for Baron, just like I was saying before, they have the least amount taken. It's just to go for that final push. And Gambit, I mean, they're obviously going to drag it out into that point to pick it up and then go for the push for the win again. But we're going to see, are Lemon Dogs going to have a reaction to this? Are they going to have a plan to stop this? Because they cannot let another Baron go.
Well, it is 11-4 still if you have just joined us. Baron is up and Gambit are going to go for it. See? Misinformation all across the board. Joe Miller trying to lead me astray. TSM versus Vulcan has just started, ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to watch it. But you don't want to watch that. You want to watch us, don't you? It's Gambit Lemon Dogs. That's what you want to watch. Competing with each other. Who would have thought? Europe and North America, LCS is on at the same time.
I'm kind of torn with that one since I'm American, but I'm here casting European LCS.
Just imagine how Freak feels.
That is true.
It feels great. He feels great. That's how he feels. We all feel great, ladies and gentlemen, because we are in Tenerife. If you are Spanish but Alex is going aggressive on Nuke Duck. He's taking the turret down. Wow, Nuke Duck didn't even stand a chance there. He may even be able to turn this one around. No, he can't, because Zora Zero's going to get the Rune Prison down. Oh, he's ripped walk away. He's in the hole. Boom, headshot. Zora Zero down.
And in the meantime, he distracted him long enough, though, for Gambit to potentially pick up this Baron and diving over the
just
wall.
Locking him up. He's locked him up. He's like, no, you are not going to go for this one, Dexter. You will hold on a little bit longer. There's the box going down. The crescendo comes across. They're going to get the shutdown. It's Genja that gets the kill. Darker taking very low by Zora Zero. He's going to try and come around the Oracle. He's going to go down. That will be picked up. Mithy surely will finish it off. Gets the heal out. Still hasn't died off the side here. And he survived. Genja goes in. Covers off his support. And Darker lives.
If you saw how they micro that Baron aggro, it did so well because Genja, you get a debuff on yourself. You lose half your attack damage when you're being hit by Baron. Zora Zero, he's not going to get lucky here, I don't believe, and he might get caught and locked down and killed.
Yeah,
or he'll escape.
He's just going to escape, walk away, there's no problem. But I don't think Darian's going to let him have this one. They're going to flash through, that's going to be the slide. Not going to catch him now. Nuke Duck's going to come in. Tab's just off at the side. He's starting to put pressure on towards Diamond. There's Nuke Duck, comes around the side, does manage to get himself one kill. That's going to be Darker going down. That's going to be stun card on Darian. Have they got enough damage to go in there? Gets across, gets the Shadow Dash. The knockup comes in. We're going to see Alex Ich. He's returning. He's back alive. And now it's going to be Lemon Dogs back on the retreat. This is back and forth action. Gambit keeping the game alive, keeping the chaos flowing. Dexter tries to get the absolute zero off, but gets Shadow Dashed across. That's going to interrupt him. Alex is back on towards Tabs. Just look at that burst damage. Gambit finally going to have to retreat from this one. It is chaotic play, and they've still not taken an inhibitor turret, even with the Baron again.
I mean, they were constantly fighting right after that whole thing, and Alex, he ended up returning with that death cap to do that ridiculous damage. Fortunately for him, he wasn't able to get any more stacks. He actually lost more than anything. And now Gambit, I mean, I'm really surprised. I don't know about you, Demon, but just the fact that they got 2 Barons and still weren't able to close out the game, I don't know if they're just kind of messing around, just want to farm up their KDA, or they're just legitimately having a tough time, because Lemon Dogs, they're still making some great plays. Zora Zero's really doing a good job of catching out a member or a hero there of Gambit, and Mithy's landing some great hooks.
Absolutely. And Darker did get caught out in there, though. Look at Genja's build. He's gone for the Black Cleaver now, along with that last Whisper after the Bloodthirster. So just going straight damage, doesn't care about any Phantom Dancers or static shibs or any form of attack speed whatsoever.
Well, the thing is, Ultimate applies Black Cleaver stacks too, so he'll get that stacked up pretty much instantly with that last Whisper. No one really have armor to him, and we saw the last one he pulled off in the base of Lemon Dogs when they dove past that first inhibitor turret with the first Baron. He just shredded them, and that was without level 16, without his rank 3 ultimate. So now with that available, if they can get the Crescendo and the Bolt Time paired up, it's going to hurt.
Gambit, meanwhile, continue to keep all waves pushed. Top's got a big wave. Alex Ich is in there. Zoro will try and cover that one off. Meanwhile, we see the middle lane also has a wave. Alex may well come across here. Could rift walk across and catch someone out. Remember just how close he got to one shot in tabs as well. Well, I say one shot, it's technically 3 spells.
One combo.
Yeah, one combo. That's more like it. That's what I get for having an FPS background. They can't get close to this turret though. It's the siege minion wave that came in there. And again, Lemondogs just cleared that out. No problems whatsoever. Of course, the fact that they have got those wild cards going out there, Zoro can walk in and they can just keep those waves cleared. I think they're going to maybe have to deal with that bottom wave that's going along. Lemondogs have dealt with. Alex wants to get in. He wants to get a combo off. He's just not able to land it yet.
He really wants that blood. He's just itching to get over that wall and go for the engage, and here it is.
There is going to be the Cataclysm followed by the bullet time. Is it going to be enough? Zoro taking very low. He's going to see Alex Itch going in. It's Genja that picks up the double kill. Tabs gets away, has to use the barrier. Is it going to be enough? We can see Alex Itch. He's going to get in and mop that one up, taking very low himself though, but they have finally made the breakthrough. They're going to take down the inhibitor turret. Genja's tanking that one up. That's going to be the first inhibitor of the game for Gambit.
And Alex now up to 8 stacks here. He's already doing so much damage. He's only getting stronger. It looks like Gambit not necessarily done just yet. So with that first inhibitor down, the chances of coming back from that is ridiculously low. It's at like 7%. But Lemondogs, they do have the potential to do it. They do have that late game rise. They do have that late game Caitlyn with the newness support, and not to mention the damage at Twist of Fate. But Gambit, they're going to take this inhibitor turret here, and Lemondogs, they don't have anyone up to stop this.
Well, there's still 20-second death timers because we're approaching the 40-minute mark. Gambit do take themselves the second inhibitor of the game, moving in towards that Nexus turret. The rest of Lemondogs will be spawning shortly, though, so Gambit wisely choose to back away from this one. Home guard boots, of course, on the number of members of Lemondogs is going to help them defend out, and Gambit step away, take themselves a breather just for a moment. It's 8-5 in turrets, 18-6 in kills, and like you mentioned, they're stacking that out. Nukeduck, he wants to find himself a kill. Can he get on towards Genja? He's gonna go for it. Has he got the stun card pulled? You bet your life he has. That's gonna force the stand united though from Darian, and he will be protected.
So a key ultimate down, but in the end, with the way Gambit's gonna be moving, going for that bottom turret, they don't really need to go for split pushing on Darian, so they can let Alex do that with the damage because no one can 1v1 him. Gambit can be picking up another dragon here, and they do have the most dragons actually taken in European Summer Split of LCS, sitting at currently 35, so actually quite far ahead of their second place. And they're gonna go back with a little bit of extra money. So Alex, he's been done with his build for quite a while now, so he doesn't really pick up anything just yet. He might actually sell boots, but I doubt that when he's against the CC that Lemondogs currently has. And you just look at the items across the board, most people in Gambit are almost done with their 6-item build.
Well, Alex cancelled that teleport there. Guardian Angel now being picked up by Genja, so almost the normal 4th item for Genja, honestly, that is. 3rd or 4th item, honestly, he goes for that. Depends which way he's going to stack it out. Lemondogs having to clear out the waves. They're up against super minions now in the top and middle lane, remember. It's just the bottom lane that you can see Gambit all stacked along. They're going to conga line their way in. They're focused and ready to maybe finish this one off tutorial style. Remember, they got beaten in 23 minutes by Lemondogs last time they faced each other, so this would be a sweet revenge for them, and it would also take it 2-1 in the series between these two teams.
I really love, though, that Lemondogs switched up their strategy so quickly and so heavily as, oh, there's gonna go straight for Dexter right there. I was like, oh, bye, Dexter, but they changed it so quickly, and it didn't work out completely well just yet, but still shows that they can adapt really well. Alex does get pulled here, and that's what they kind of hoping for. If they get a pull onto him, then change all their CC on top of him, he will die, and then all have to deal with is Genja.
Oh, we see the ultimate being popped from Zoro, and look at Darian, he just goes in, no cares given, straight on towards them. Shadow dashes in, Crescendo follows it straight on. Darian continues on, Cataclysm now on towards Zoro. Tabs has gone down, that's the second one down. Nukeduck gets picked up by Alex Itch. They're on towards the final inhibitor turret, but they don't need it. They're just turned straight towards the Nexus turret, and Gamble, that's a triple kill straight away by Alex Itch. That was on the fountain as well, and that's really keeping that stack going. Alex Itch padding out his KDA towards the end of this game, but it doesn't matter because it's Gambit that picked themselves up a win, and it's a 3rd straight loss for a Spaniard here in Tenerife. This is not so good for the home crowd, but they can appreciate great skill from Gambit.
And everyone that's wondering at home, Alex finished off with 15 stacks there on that Magi's. He had 854 ability power, just ridiculous. We talked about in the beginning how he's kind of like the glue of the team, how he really carries the team, and he showed it right there, finishing 13, 3, and 4, Demon.
Absolutely strong stuff from Gambit as they pass themselves over the stage. A bit of a wave from and Diamond. And Darian, in fact. Wow, I mean, these guys have grown over the game. They used to be getting sullen faces, nothing out of these. They've actually started to acclimatise to the highlights or the high life that they're in, I guess you could say, that these guys are facing. We are, of course, going to go across towards our analysis desk. It is going to be the inevitable red-faced Joe Miller. Alongside him is the very red Californian kid. It is Freak.
Thanks a lot, guys, and what a performance there coming out from Gambit. And we need to take it all the way back to the very start of the game to really break down what happened in this game, because Lemon Dogs came out ridiculously strong. They took the inner middle turret after, I think,
5.5 minutes?
4.5, 5.5 minutes. Either way, it was ridiculously quick how fast they got that down. They switched then to the top. But when it comes to actually picking up kills, it was all about Gambit.
And that was really what had happened is, basically because the teams had different focuses in their 2-on-1 and 3-on-1 lanes. So LCS was able to sit at his turret. He wasn't focused. They went for his turret. He hit level 4 by the time the turret went down. He had 15 minion kills or so. He was doing okay by 1v2 standards. Meanwhile, 0-0 on Rise was level 1, had 1 CS, and had lost his first turret, not his second. And so what you had was basically the situation where Caston got to actually do stuff. And when you look at that lineup, it's like he's not going to lane against Caitlyn. He categorically beats Twisted Fate, and Rise is 3 levels down, so who's going to stop Alex Ich? No one.
No one.
And so he gets to go and make moves the entire time, uses teleport to do a bunch of stuff. And also, because the 2 turrets were down in the mid lane, the lane was actually pushed towards Gambit's base. And Nukeduck can't lane there as Twisted Fate against Caston, who's been gaining levels. He's stuck there being like, I have to be past river with a Jarvan jungle? Nope, and just had to go like jungle or something. And so that lane was a dead lane for Lemon Dogs, and Alex got to farm.
Yeah, and it's incredible to see how, you know, League of Legends has developed into that way. You're looking at it thinking, why are they not doing anything about this inner turret? And then it's just them picking up all the kills because that lane was just out of question of everything. Let's have a look at the replay that we've got from this one. It's a little bit further on into the game after Gambit took their first Baron.
Yes, this is a Baron buffed Gambit, and basically what happens is Darian baits Lemon Dogs to be together and Diamond gets to open up. Let's get it on your screen and I'll kind of point out all the important points here. So Darian tanks a Rune Prison, right? He's in turret range, he tanked a Cupcake, the turret's focusing him, but Darian is so tanky, he doesn't care about damage ever. And look at Diamond right here. The flag toss is going down right on this circle and he's about to jump and get the entire team. So we start the clip out, gets a great knockback, but there's the combo. Look at this. Bullet time coming in from the wall. Genja was near Diamond the entire time and knew that he would combo in the abilities. So is Darker. Darker from down here gets the crescendo across the team and just drops the health bars of these 4 members of Lemon Dogs. Really hurts them down and allows Gambit to go for cleanup. Let's play the clip out and watch what happens. 0-0 just gets crushed down. He's got nowhere to go, gets just chunked out. Now watch Tabs, the long-range AD carry who lost all of his health bar to a bullet time, just gets cleaned up by Alex, and you get a big team fight win here for Gambit. This is what gives them the middle and the top inhibitor because they're just so much more powerful. They got the really good team fight engage. Of course, they had a really big minion kill lead, the gold lead from the Baron, and when it finally actually happens, they get their ults together, evaporates the enemy team.
Fantastic performance from Gambit overall. We're going to go over to Shox, who's actually waiting with Darker for an interview.
Thank you. Congratulations, Darker, on that victory. Tell me about the picks and bans, and they were running double AP. How did you strategize against that?
Le están preguntando exactamente cómo han hecho una estrategia después de que el enemigo haya picado, o haya piqueado, mejor dicho, una estrategia de doble AP.
Well, they did really scary setup, and against double AP, the most important thing is to not give up early game too hard and to build up double bulwark plus locket to minimize the damage double AP comp deals. So we were trying to not let them push turrets as hard as possible, and we were controlling Drake really good. So at some point we just earned enough money. So we built up our core items like double bulwark and stuff like that, and we were ready for 5v5. But they did really good pick, in my opinion.
Pues realmente lo que dice es que la composición del enemigo fue bastante, bueno, tenían bastante miedo de ella porque era muy difícil, es una composición de doble AP y lo único que tenían que hacer realmente para intentar contrarrestarlo ya no era solamente solo el tema de no tener, bueno, que piquear contra ellos, sino más bien la estrategia que siguen a la hora de jugar. Tenían que no dar muchas kills en early game, tenían que aguantar mucho y de alguna forma también tenían que tener los dragones bien controlados y a partir de ahí, cuando la partida fuese avanzando, ya podrían hacer ellos algo.
And then the second question, you guys built up a very solid lead, yet had some trouble closing out, it seemed. Is that the case, and why was that?
Pues está preguntando que al principio, digamos, les ha costado bastante, digamos, jugar, ha sido bastante difícil y cómo han podido de alguna forma remontar esta situación.
We just played really safe. We didn't want to throw this game, and like we made everything step by step, like trying to play a really solid game and like don't throw any Nashor or Dragon or something like that, because like their setup is really strong late game. If they kill us in some team fight with Caitlyn Nunu combo, they could push like Nexus really fast, and like if you give up one fight, they pretty much come back into the game. Their setup is very good late game, and I'm glad how we played this game. It was really solid.
Está muy contento de cómo han hecho, digamos, esta partida porque realmente, como había comentado antes, la clave era jugar muy sobre seguro, intentar no tirar la partida, hacer que ellos no pudiesen tener ocasiones a la hora de matarles a primeros niveles, por decirlo así, y a partir de ahí realmente había dicho también que ese combo Nunu Caitlyn podía pushear de manera muy fuerte en caso de que ellos muriesen y poco a poco han ido, bueno, está contento de eso porque la partida ha sido una partida muy sólida en la cual han jugado muy bien.
Finally, you did really good this game. You were at the top of the standings, and a lot of games you do really well. And then there's this one game, once in a while, where you just seem to get steamrolled by the opponent. How come?
Lo que le está comentando es que, bueno, ahora están, digamos, líderes de grupo, bueno, por lo menos están en las posiciones más altas del torneo, pero sí que es verdad que hay algunas partidas en las que lo suelen hacer, bueno, digamos que no lo mejor que ellos suelen hacer. Hay muchas partidas que se les suelen atascar mucho y realmente reciben bastante daño del equipo enemigo. ¿Cómo es eso?
We haven't found our solid play style yet. Sometimes we just like good strategizing and like tactical part. Sometimes we play really bad. For example, I played really bad last week when I was trash against Lemon Dogs. Sometimes we just aren't prepared enough or something like that. But I believe that like we are close to a moment, to the point when we finally get clue how to play, which style like suits our performance and like personalities really well. And I believe we will be totally unstoppable once we get there.
Realmente él piensa que por el tema de picks y demás no es el problema es que hay algunas partidas en las que ellos juegan bastante mal, digamos a nivel individual. Se pone como ejemplo que una de las partidas en las que jugó 3 la semana pasada no consiguió hacer prácticamente nada, ni siquiera, no sé, pillar un gancho, y que bueno, que poco a poco va llegando a ese punto en el que ya prácticamente cree él que podrían llegar a ser imbatibles por la solidez de su estilo de juego.
All right, spasiba. Now, I would like to remind our viewers that the North American LCS is going on right now, so you can hop over to that stream if you want to tune into TSM versus Vulcan. But right here on this stage, Alternate started off the summer split on a hot streak, but recently they've run cold. Can they steal some heat from the ninjas in pajamas who are on fire? We'll see when we come back.